And welcome back. My next guest is Lisa Leote from the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you for having me, George.
So delighted to have you on the program, and you've been involved with the American Cancer Society for a while here locally, and also one of the co-chairs of the Relay for Life event that takes place, I believe, in June. So we'd love to have you talk a little bit about the American Cancer Society, and then we could kind of segue into the Relay for Life and how people can get involved.
Sure, that sounds great. So the American Cancer Society is a national nonprofit organization that works and strives towards medical research in reducing and hopefully eradicating cancer. They do that through community outreach. They have a variety of programs, some of which I'll talk about in regards to our relay. And what it is we want to come and be aware as a community to try to fight this. And this means you fight it by helping a loved one or a neighbor by helping them to their cancer treatments, being a shoulder to lean on, helping them with getting wigs if they lose their hair during chemo. So it's really important that the ACS is able to resonate on the community level in order to be able to have programs that they offer.
So talk a little about some of those programs that American Cancer Society does locally. You know, is that through volunteers? Is that through paid staff as well? Or?
It's all through volunteers.
Okay.
One program we have is called Road to Recovery. That program provides rides to individuals going to and from doctor's appointments or cancer treatments. And I believe since 2005, they've done 8.5 million rides.
Wow. Wow.
We have a program called Hope Lodge. That's down in Manhattan. It's actually right by MSG. And it's a place for families and cancer patients to stay if they have treatment down in the city. And they've donated 4 million nights.
Wow, that's incredible.
So, yeah.
So, so those are two really great programs. You also talked about, you know, I wouldn't say counseling services, but almost like, you know, friendly services. Folks for, you know, people that could not just help with rides, but could be somebody that can be a listening ear who's gone through. I would assume that's somebody that's probably gone through a cancer scare themselves and has come out on the other side.
Yes. So ironically enough, our committee for the event in Rockland County is half cancer survivors, myself included. And you create this bond within the community where people know that you're a person that they can go to get direction, or if we're not sure where to direct you to, we can put you in contact with someone who can also direct you.
Right.
That includes the services for wigs, if you need rides, if you need somewhere to stay, if you need financial support, there's programs there that help offset the cost of treatments.
Great. And you shared a little bit about yourself. Maybe you share just a little bit for our viewers what that experience was like for you going through a cancer scare.
Sure. So, you know, I work in medicine. I'm a nurse and I teach throughout the world. And when you find out you have cancer, you just lose every brain cell of knowledge in your body. And you kind of feel like helpless. You have that feeling of, what did I do to deserve this? How did I get this? I've done everything right. I take care of myself. And then you reach out to where you feel comfortable. I was diagnosed in 2016, and I've been doing relays since 2007. So for me, I was like, wow, I got to find an event around here that I can participate from. I'm a transplant from Long Island. And I reached out to the relay, and I got in touch with a wonderful woman, Donnie Hughes, who's also a cancer survivor and is actually one of my co-chairs. And like, you just feel, it just eases and makes things that much easier for you to figure out, like, okay, here's what I need to do. This is the clarity I need to have. You're not alone, which is the most important part. You feel so alone, and you are not alone.
Right.
And, you know, the stress on your family. My husband, his employer, thank God, he worked for the city of New York, and they were able to assign him to me. So I was like, how are we going to pay our bills? What are we going to do? I can't work right now. And it's just amazing how everybody just pulls together and they're able to like have that community, you know, we're fighting it together mindset.
That's wonderful. And and it's very true, you know, with over and over again in Rockland County, and particularly in our town in Clarkstown, there's such commonality amongst folks that doesn't matter, you know, what part of the town you're from. Whenever there's a tragedy, or when families are going through crises like this, you know, the sudden death of a loved one, or frankly, you know, cancer scares, more than a few times you'll see things on Facebook about helping with meals at people's houses and helping with childcare and things of that nature. So we really have a great community that pitches in and helps people get together. So let's talk about the actual Relay for Life. I know Donna. I've actually years ago had been to a number of events when they used to have this relay up at RCC. So let's talk a little bit about the event that's coming up. When is it in Pearl River, and we can kind of give some of the information and how people can get involved.
Sure. So the event's going to be on Saturday, June 8th. It's going to be running from 3 p.m. until 12 a.m. at Central Avenue Field in Pearl River. The event is going to still hit upon the staples of the event. We're going to start off with our Survivor Caregiver Lap. We're going to have a free dinner for survivors and caregivers there that's catered. We're going to have the Luminary Ceremony, and then we're going to have our closing ceremonies.
Right. So speak about the Luminary Ceremony, because it's so moving.
It is probably my favorite part of the event, even though, the ambiance is obviously very docile and sad. So every bag around the field, Luminary bag, represents an individual who's either fighting, fought, or passed away from cancer. And every bag around the field is what motivates you to want to keep striving towards either walking around the field or just the fight against cancer itself. The Luminary Ceremony highlights those that we've lost. It gives you a time to reflect, but it also gives you a time to see that you're not alone with the loss that you may have, or if you were the individual who was fighting or is fighting right now. Last year, our event was very community involved. The ceremony recognized how cancer affected every individual by month. So we were really able to see, like, oh, I didn't realize that you lost your mother around Christmas, or you lost your brother around Halloween. And it just kind of lets you realize that you're not by yourself, and there's other people that feel the same exact pain that you feel.
Right, right. And for those that haven't seen it, so it's a candle light in a bag that really will kind of provide illumination, and it becomes very, very powerful, because they often, if I recall, events that I've been to, they have a line in the track or a line in the course, and it's just, and to think that each one of those lights represents, an individual that's been grievously affected by cancer. And there's far too many of those bags.
Way too many bags.
Far too many of them. So, how does, for the benefit of our viewers, how does the American Cancer Society raise money from this event? Talk about the teams and what have you.
Of course. So it's a team event, meaning that you can register with your family, your friends, schools, businesses, and you can do different ways to fundraise during the relay season. So relay season usually kicks off in March and ends the day of the event. You can hold dine-ins. There's a couple of restaurants around here that are very kind. You can do different types of paint and sip fundraisers. You could do plant sales. You can, the kids at South Orangetown Middle School do pizzelles. The kids in East Ramapo, their marching band comes, which is so cool.
Yeah, they're a great band.
It was so much fun last year. But there's just so many different ways. There's a lot of organizations that are involved, business organizations. The Pearl River Chamber of Commerce has really come through huge for us to be involved. A lot of local, Chris Day is actually coming to get dunked in our dunk tank, and that's where we're going to raise money with him. But there's just so many different ways to get involved. You don't have to dig into your pockets. I don't want anyone to think that this is us asking for money by any means. But if there's any way to raise money and there are opportunities there, that all that money goes towards cancer research and support services. Right.
So how would somebody find out how to get involved? I mean, how do they register a team?
Sure. So they can go to the Relay for Life website, which is relayforlife.org/RocklandNY. They can go to our Facebook group, which is the Relay for Life of Rockland County. They can email us at rocklandrelayforlife@gmail.com. Or if they see any of us around town, they can grab us. It's relay season. We have our cards with us.
Great. So what we'll do is we'll put all those links up, and hopefully folks will be able to see it and be inspired that they can become involved. Are there additional events that you guys are involved with for American Cancer Society, or is it just the Relay for Life is the main one?
We're actually, this year, it's like a segue from Relay for Life. The week before Relay, we're doing what's called Paint Your Town Purple. Right now we're starting small because remember our event's a county event,
Right.
but we're growing and this is a really good thing. We're painting Pearl River purple. It's a full day event. A lot of businesses are involved. We're going to hang flags and banners and paint store windows and change out light bulbs to be purple, and we're really trying to show that we're really coming together as a community to fight against cancer.
Well, that's neat. That's neat. So that'll be just for Pearl River this year.
If there's opportunity where other individuals want to take places closer to their home, they can contact us directly, and we can try to arrange. We would love to have all of Rockland County turn purple, but we're trying to start small and grow. But anyone who's interested can reach out.
Right. About how many people participate in the Relay for Life?
We had about 500 or 600 people show to the event last year. It's often hard to gauge exactly how many come because we can't get around to register everyone when they're there. Ideally, we'd like to have probably 5 or 6 times more of that. I know that, statistically, there's a lot more people in Rockland County and a lot more people that have cancer. And even if just cancer survivors came for the cancer survivor reception and caregiver reception, that's, our main focus is to try to provide that comfort and support.
Right. And again, if we're just about out of time, but if you could offer the ways in which people could get in contact with you to either register a team or to volunteer.
Sure. So our website again is relayforlife.org/RocklandNY. They can go to our Facebook page, which is Relay for Life of Rockland County, or they can email us at rocklandrelayforlife@gmail.com.
Great. Lisa, thank you. You've been a wonderful guest, and I wish you well, in your own personal battle, but also well with this event, and I'll see you guys on June 8th.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Stay tuned for our next guest, Helen Hayes Perkins, a Clarkstown Police Auxiliary Officer.